Hi, I'm Kristen. Here I am again. And today we're going to talk a little bit about feeling invisible. Have you ever been there? Especially invisible women of a certain age. I am what is considered older Gen X, and I have found in my midlife and beyond that you hit a certain age where suddenly you feel invisible. And now sometimes that can be a good thing, but outside of that, it can be depressing. It can be upsetting. It can make you feel like you're not important anymore. Anything you have to say isn't important anymore. So let's talk about it first regarding, let's look at, and by the way, I have decades of experience in mental health services, in education, and in doing art, but mainly talking to people, especially women of a certain age, about how we can get unstuck and how we can get out of these toxic situations and begin to live in our own truth and in our own life and joy and move toward that. So let's look at celebrities first, just because that's a little more distant, even though these women are still feeling invisible themselves. Have you ever noticed how a man can be like old as dirt and still be paired with a 20-something woman in a movie as if she's their viable partner, as if he still retains his sex appeal? Anyway, he's retaining his sex appeal, like Harrison Ford, old as dirt, but gets paired with these young women in movies, whereas the women who are starting to hit their 40s and starting to get a couple wrinkles around the edges and aren't like these young nubile princesses are suddenly finding themselves confined to mom roles. Several other women in Hollywood, including, her name went away from my brain for a minute, but Cameron Diaz. She took 10 years off to raise her family, and because she wanted to do that, but she said she found that coming back was not easy, partly because they weren't offering her those cute roles anymore, where she's this young, adorable person dancing to I Like Big Butts on Charlie's Angels, or the movies that she did back then. One of my favorites was The Holiday. You'll have to check it out if you haven't seen it. Very few older women are cast in lead roles or shown in the media outside of stereotypes like the grandmother or the wise elder or something of that nature. There's also a huge amount of ageism in beauty standards all over, in every job. Let's face it, every job. But the entertainment and fashion industries especially focus heavily on, you got to be beautiful. You can't have an ounce of fat anywhere. You can't have bat wings on your arms. You can't show your age. A lot of women get Botox, have plastic surgery, etc. So there's a disproportionate focus on aging in women as compared to men. And don't even argue. Men, don't come in my comments and say, oh, that's not true, there's ageism against us too. Yes, there is, but not to the same level. No. So, social settings. Feeling invisible in social settings. Have you ever been somewhere like to a dinner party with friends or a game night where a lot of the people were quite a bit younger than you, and you felt as if your formerly ebullient self, you just felt like you were being made to kind of take a seat and being talked over, or like the things that you say are not relevant to the conversations anymore? Women over 50 are often overlooked in conversations, especially when they're in conversations with younger people. Same as in the workplace. If you're in the meeting room, if you're a woman of a certain age, you're often being talked over, sometimes by other younger women, most times by men. Again, let's face it. But the culture in social situations also makes you feel invisible. Dating culture is one of those things too, where older women face stereotypes that they're less virile or attractive or desirable compared to their younger counterparts. You're excluded from certain trends. You can't wear certain fashion accessories, or you can't dress a certain way because, oh, that's too young for you. You shouldn't be wearing that. Social events, advertisements, activities are geared toward younger people. Basically, your interests are being sidelined because you're a middle-aged woman, and to many people, especially out there in that world, you do feel invisible. So workplace dynamics, your career plateaus, you're not getting promotions, you're getting laid off before even that young person they just hired 6 months ago gets laid off of a certain job. all of that can be demeaning and make you feel like you're invisible and irrelevant. So there's a psychological impact to this. Women of our age, Gen X and beyond, can lose confidence. It's a big hit to your confidence. You know you're an intelligent human being. You know you're smart and you're funny and you get shit done. All of the rejection or the just ignoring you can erode your self-esteem. It can make you feel like you have no confidence. It could take you back to those times in your life where you just felt like you just weren't good enough. And that's kind of how I felt when I went back to teaching and realized that my administrative person was a gaslighting bully and treated me and the rest of his staff like absolute garbage. And at the end of that, my physical and mental health were taking a hit. I could barely get up a flight of stairs without intense pain in my lower back and in my hip. I was getting sciatica. I was having a lot of anxiety and depression and brain fog just because of the constant stress that I was under, thanks to the rigors of being an English teacher, but also the rigors of being under someone who doesn't value you. So it takes a hit. You feel socially isolated. You feel invisible, and it can result in your withdrawal into yourself or into your home and your withdrawal from social and professional situations. I would like to encourage you and let you know that there is a way out. You can begin to be visible again because you can begin to interact with people who find you valuable and who find your opinions and your thoughts valuable, and who appreciate your wisdom and who appreciate your desire to be social and to laugh and to have a good time. So I want to encourage you to also share your own experiences and strategies for overcoming those feelings of invisibility if you've done so in your past. This feeling of invisibility does not have to be the rest of your life. You just need to pivot and find new people who appreciate you and new places to be of appreciation. One of the things you can do is to join groups, be a joiner. Some people are nerds like me who like to play nerdy board games and who like to get together and do board games in a community setting. I know that really, our social life, everybody in the world's social life took a hit during COVID. And one of the reasons was because we had a very close geeky board gaming community, and we were getting together at least once a month to play board games, and there'd be 30 of us in the house at a time. We liked it a little more intimate after a while, where there were only 10 to 12 people. So you want to build or join social communities of women who are like-minded. I belong to a local progressives group, and I like to get together with them sometimes when we're protesting things. Oh crud, I'm missing a protest right now at the courthouse in my town, because here in North Carolina, we have some jerk-face male judge who continues to try to get votes thrown out for the female judge that North Carolinians voted for. Oops. I was gonna go, missed it. Oh well. Anyway, but you want to join these supportive meetup groups where you have a say and where you don't feel invisible. There's another group for those of you who are introverts that I love to do. I joined an urban sketching group, and they don't just sketch in urban places. They often will go out to a park and sketch landscape areas too, or a place. We went to a cemetery one time in my town and sketched the cemetery area, or some people turned around and sketched the church that was next door. But that was another way to get together with other people who are similar minded, but maybe a little less extroverted than I am. Those of us who are extroverts can speak to each other while we're sketching, and those who are not can move off and sketch quietly and silently until we come together again and see each other's work and talk about each other's work. So whatever your interests are, you can find a group of people who are like-minded and who aren't going to treat you like you're invisible. If you're in a close relationship where you feel that way, maybe in future we'll cover some ways to pull yourself out of that rut of feeling invisible even in your own relationship and in trying to make the changes that you need. Or if changes are refused to be made, then there might be other choices to make. One of the things you can do to thrive in your career is to take courses, take some trainings to stay competitive in your field. Now, sometimes, again, this is an ageism thing, sometimes that doesn't work either. Sometimes it doesn't matter how competitive you are in your field. They're not going to hire you. They're going to hire the younger man or woman who isn't quite as qualified, but they see as a more type that they want working for them. You can network with other professionals, or you can make a decision like I did to leave those environments. Well, my first time decision was not to leave the environment. I got laid off. After that layoff, I could not find work again in my field, in the field of mental health, qualified professional in mental health, helping people stay in their communities. So I took jobs that I had to take, and I even drove for Uber and Lyft for a while to just make that extra money so that I could live while I decided what I was going to do. And what my decision was is that I was going to go full-time, self-employed. But I was working toward the goal of becoming a full-time artist. And then when I became a full-time artist, I realized I just don't feel like this is where I need to be either, just doing art. And so I realized that I could combine all of the things that I've learned and enjoyed. I love working with people who struggle with depression, anxiety, who have neurodivergence, who have severe ADHD as I have, which is why I can be a little flighty sometimes. Not gonna lie. I need a script that I look down at sometimes, because otherwise I will go off on all the little rabbit trails and tributaries and I may never come back. But I've always loved working with this population of people, and especially women who are of a certain age and who are trying to remodel their lives, not just their homes. You need to embrace your personal style. You need to do what you need to do to live, but in the meantime, you need to be thinking about what you want to do for the rest of your life and where you want to be. If you want to be in the workforce because you like it and you don't want to be self-employed, a lot of people are like, God forbid, just network with professionals of all ages. Join professional meetup groups if you can. Use your experience as an asset. If you're in a job interview, tell the person who's asking why should we hire you, tell them, a lot of people don't want to hire somebody my age because they think that somebody younger and more energetic is going to be better for the company. But I come with experience. I have kept up with the trends. I know what's going on, and I'm not going to bounce from job to job trying to build my resume. I already have a resume. So I would be a loyal employee and stay with you and grow with the company that hires me. So, change your pitch so you're not invisible. Embrace your personal style. Share your story online like I'm doing now, through blogs or through vlogs, or now is one of the best times in the world for a woman of a certain age, man of a certain age, to be honest, to start a YouTube channel just talking about their lives. It's a vlog centered thing where you can sit and you can chat with people about your life and you can make a community, which is what I'm doing here. I want to inspire you to realize that you are relevant and you have things to offer to people. And it doesn't matter what age you are, and it doesn't matter what you look like, and it doesn't matter how many little things in your turkey neck you have here. It doesn't matter that you've put on weight. It doesn't matter that you've lost a lot of weight and then have the hanging skin in certain areas. But what matters is that you are relevant and you have a personal superpower. So put on that cape and have a think about it and celebrate your achievements, whether they're little or whether they're huge. Just make them a celebration and come along with me on this ride. I just want to remind you that you're not alone. You don't have to feel invisible. You don't have to just sit there and feel stabby and not be able to do anything to increase your joy. You also don't have to be involved in activism all the time either. Sometimes you need to step back and do something for you. I would encourage you to like, to comment. I will always answer any questions or comments that you might have, unless, as I've said before, unless you're a troll baby or a troll bot, in which case I will not. I would love to just build this community and be able to talk to you, and I would love you to give me thoughts on what you would like to talk about or discuss, where personal life issues, especially for those of us who are Gen X women and beyond, might need to be discussed. So I would love to talk to you about this. Videos coming up in future that are going to talk about other ways to get unstuck and to move forward with your own life. Basically, we're just going to talk about how to make a happy place for ourselves. And I'm rambling now. So I would just say, I hope to see you in the next one. And please do like and subscribe to my channel and come on in and stay a while. We'll talk to you soon.